Hey, it's Matt, I'm back, and we're making a vlog today. We're creatively inspired. It's January. It's the time of the year where we get to sit back a little bit and breathe. It's cold outside, a lot less weddings, a lot less of everything. So this is the time of the year we focus on some other things like our own creative projects we don't have time in the summer for. I've been watching a lot of YouTube. I'm a super nerd, and I really like filmmaking. And so I've been watching this one YouTuber. His channel is In-Depth Cine, and he shows filmmakers and how they have styles, or a dogma almost, of how they photograph or film. You know, Roger Deakins, Wes Anderson, like tons of them. They have all these comparisons. Anyway, one of them was really interesting to me. They made a vlog about digital versus film and high resolution versus non-high resolution. And it really got me thinking of like what can be done. And a lot of movies that look like film are actually digitally shot. It was really interesting to me that you don't need super high res, super crispy, super, all that. You don't need that to make it look pretty. And in fact, sometimes it can take away from what you're trying to do. So today I decided for a creative project to use these things called ProMist filters. All right, Josiah's screwing it on. He's gonna screw it on while I talk. So what this is, you'll see instantly the background got more dreamy. It actually makes skin look better, and it takes the quality of the image and just softens it a bit. So today we're gonna try this. I'm gonna photograph on my cheapest camera, and we're gonna put this on, and I'm gonna shoot kind of an unconventional lens, and we're gonna just walk around taking photographs and see what we get. All right, my team is teasing me behind the scenes because I've been preparing my vlog voice. So you're getting full-on Matt here. God, that sounds terrible. Here's kind of the idea I have in my mind. I'm gonna just kind of big picture view. We like to do creatives because I'm not gonna do this on a client's photo shoot. I'm not gonna take these kind of risks. I'm gonna use the tricks I already know because I'm being paid to be there and I have to be efficient. But when I'm doing a creative, that's the time to play and try something. So here's sort of like, imagine this is a science experiment. I'm gonna set up rules for myself, and then we're gonna follow those rules and see how it goes, okay? So here's the rules I've set for this experiment. We're gonna use this quarter ProMist filter. We're filming on it today too, so you can just kind of, all the video kind of looks like this, and maybe even the video, the way Josiah's gonna edit it, will be a little bit filmic as well. In my mind, I just watched Schindler's List yesterday. I love old movies. That movie didn't need to be filmed in black and white, it just was. So my camera, when I photograph in RAW, it holds the color, it's the raw data, so I can't choose black and white. But when we put it on the computer, what I'm gonna do is create a recipe or a preset, as you might have heard of those. I'm gonna just batch all the images with the same setting. And so I'm gonna photograph in a way where I'm not heavy editing. I'm just putting a black and white preset that I think emulates film. This filter is gonna help get that filmic look as well, so which is the quarter mist Pro filter from Tiffin. There's other brands that do this, like Cinebloom. I think that's by Moment. These are very popular right now, very popular. And I'm gonna film it on my cheapest camera. This is a camera you could buy for like $1,000. This is the built-in lens, or sorry, the kit lens you could call it. The one thing I'm gonna do to cheat those, I'm gonna put like this lens on. This one is much better lens. This is a 24mm f1.4 Sigma lens. It's a prime. And that is the one thing I'm not gonna use from the kit lens. This lens, I think I bought it used for like $700. So this lens is gonna give a bit of that look too. To give you an idea, it's kind of wide, so it's not, you wouldn't necessarily consider it a portrait lens. So anyway, we're gonna take this lens off, and we're gonna put this lens on. Wait, I gotta clean this camera first. We'll put this lens on. And then we're gonna put that filter on. Now, the thing with filters is we have to buy them for the biggest lens we have, and it screws on the front. So our biggest lens is 82mm. This is not, so this doesn't fit, it's too big. So we have these step down rings. I think this might actually be the right one. Yeah, 82 to 77. So this is an 82mm filter. This is 82 to 77. So then I put this on the lens first. It was a little dusty, and then I screw this filter on. Cool. This lens doesn't zoom in or out, it's just fixed, it's 24mm. This camera is a crop sensor, so it's gonna be a little tighter, around 35mm equivalent. It wouldn't be too far from what your phone would do on your regular camera. That's it. So that's my kit. I'm gonna go get a battery for it and a memory card. So here it is, the rig, it's ready to go. I got a memory card in, a battery in, and we're good to go. This camera is a totally fine camera. I've taken lots of photos with it. Even that kit lens with it, I've printed lots of photos from that kit lens, like as it came. It's fine. I'm using this for a little bit more cinematic look, and we're gonna have some fun. So I'm gonna start in the studio, and then we're gonna go for a walk around in the snow. And I did check, well, Chris checked, Schindler's List was filmed in black and white. And then the other film that inspired me was the movie Jackie with Natalie Portman. That movie was filmed in 16 mil. It's just smaller film, which means smaller resolution. And the vlog that inspired me was talking about that movie particularly versus The Matrix, which was filmed in 8K and then downsampled to 4K, where Jackie was filmed in 16 mil, which is actually like this camera, and then delivered in a 2K format, or like regular HD. So that movie wasn't even made in super high res. They talked about it like brush strokes, and it's like you have hyper realistic paintings and you can have paintings that are made with bigger, fatter brushes. And I was like, yeah, let's make something different. Nothing's wrong, they're just tools. It's visual storytelling. So here we go. I'm gonna start taking some pictures. All right, it's cold. I'm gonna do this quick. The other creative part of this is like, I'm doing this to just make something I think looks cool. I'm not trying to impress anyone. The second I'm trying to do it for someone else, it robs me of my creative voice, and that is not helpful. So anyway, this is just to make something cool that I like. That's it. And if other people like it, cool, but not everybody likes everything, so I'm doing it for me. I'm gonna stay in this shadow spot for now, and I'm gonna get my exposure. Some things I like is there's already a bit of haze. It's a bit misty right now. Cool, that was a cool shot, kind of geometric. The lines look probably pretty neat. Those are things I like. Let's do a non-asymmetric shot. This is our studio. Maybe I'll just take a shot of our studio. This private parking sign, I just kind of like it. It's handmade. It has a look to it, I kind of like it. So I'm gonna take a picture of that. Let's see if there's anything else. I got a bit of sun over there. This filter on, maybe it'll do something cool. Maybe I'll take a couple shots of Josiah. Actually, let's just get like a cool shot of you right bank center in this alleyway. What I'm seeing when I look at Josiah is like this, coming from the sun, which looks cool. And with this filter, you're seeing it kind of bloom and it's flaring a little bit. I think that looks cool. So that's what I liked, and it separates him off the background, gives him a bit of an edge. He's wearing a very monochromatic outfit with his coat and his pants, like a lot of black and a bit of gray. So, which looks really cool, especially with the camera, it's very blacked out. That might be good. Maybe just one shot here, just some skyline, and then we'll go inside and then we'll edit. So my goal for this shoot is like something that doesn't feel digital, feels a little bit more organic, and something I like. So far I think what it's doing is cool. And let's go inside, I'm freezing. All right, we're back in the studio, my hands are warming up, and I have all the photos together. So we're going to make a look or creative style or preset, you could call it. I shot in RAW format, so that has all the original data, and then we're gonna convert it to black and white. So I'm gonna actually just load every single shot into Camera Raw. Camera Raw is what we edit our photos with. It's the same as Lightroom. It's just a bit of a different presentation, but it is the same raw processing engine. Let's go to a photo I think will be like a good one to start it on. Ooh, that's cool with the Pro Mist, and I can still see the snow kind of glistening. That's neat. Okay, so we got this photo here. It is image number 9465. And we're going to start with actually a preset I bought. So I own Maston Lab presets, and I have some favorites. I'm gonna start with this one called Tri-X. Should we go color? Maybe we should go color. We're gonna stay with the goal, black and white, but I definitely like color more than black and white. So let's see. So we got Tri-X 400. Tri-X 400 was based off Tri-X film, 400 ISO. That is sort of talking about the grain you would see on the images. So we're gonna go back to our settings. I'm not gonna touch the white balance because I'm treating it like it's film. And we have it at 5350. It's probably actually a little too cool for just Josiah. He was in the shade. Like I was shooting the shade side of him. Now you'd think, what is the difference of white balance when it's a black and white photo? Well, it changes sort of like music. You can turn bass up and down, treble up and down. The same thing with color. You can see the certain colors go brighter and darker when you do that. So you could actually have a black and white photo, but this person's skin is brighter or darker. So skin tones are in sort of those red channels. And so we can play with it there. Maybe I should just show you what I'm talking about. So here I'm changing the tint, which makes it more red. You can kind of see like it's shifting the way things look, like his coat's getting brighter. If we go more green, it's robbing the skin tone of its skin color, and so his face is going darker. So it's really, this is just changing tint. It's really interesting. So where it was about 19. So playing with the color on a black and white makes a huge difference. So what I want to see more is maybe a little more detail in his jacket and the camera. So we can maybe up the shadows here. And what I don't like is it's affecting him too much, our subject's face. His sweater is pretty matte black, so maybe it's fine. Maybe a bit of texture here. It's kind of interesting. A little harsh on the face. Maybe a little bit there, a little bit of clarity. Let's play with these colors. So in the black and white mixer, this is where we can change individual color channels and kind of play with stuff more. Now, Josiah was very monochromatic. The scene was kind of blue, so blue is going to change a lot of the photo. If we make blue darker or brighter. Josiah's looking at me from the camera. You can't see what I'm seeing. He'll be mixing this later, but it's pretty cool. Actually, come take a look. I think it's cool. Super cool. I think playing with that blue was kind of interesting. If you push any of these too hard, you can have some colors of the image start to look a little funny. All right. That's maybe okay. And then let's go to effects. Effects is where we get film grain. Now we're gonna go to 100% on the zoom, and that shows the image pixels, pixel for pixel. I'm actually gonna go 300, and then we can see things a little bit more. So I wanna actually see what the grain looks like. So no grain. There's still grain because it's a photo. Digital cameras have noise, but we can add it. See it there. Let's take this preset and just apply it to the rest. Selected them all, Command A, and then I'm going to hit Option S. What I don't want to change is the white balance. I can change everything else. I just don't want to change the white balance because some of the photos are different white balance. So we're going to do that. There we go. So now I got a film preset. I'm going to do one last thing. I'm just going to look over a few other images. Look how it translated to the set of images. That looks cool, very cool. That shot's a little bright. All right, we got a set of images. I'm gonna hit done. We're gonna turn them into JPEGs and then we'll look at those. Awesome, so what I'm gonna show you, we have our final image. So this, what you're seeing here, this is like the straight out of camera image. And kind of boring. It actually looks a little soft. That's because of that Pro Mist quarter filter. This was the first black and white we made. So it looks much better. Looks much more interesting than the original. I really like it. I had one problem with it, and it actually, in my opinion, looked too good still. It was too crispy. And so we actually went back in and played around with the grain. And so I was able to go in grain, and there's like a little drop-down menu. You could change the size. So what happened, it was, in my opinion, it was too sharp, and I wanted it to look less digital. And then I cropped them in. So anyway, this is the final finish. And so you can see here, like if we zoom in, like 100%, it looks not high tech. It looks like lo-fi. And lo-fi is like a thing I've been loving lately. I love it on music. I love it in imagery as well, because it's hard to make something look not high tech. Everything we own is built to like sharpen things and pop the colors and make it like really fancy. Like your iPhone does it, your TVs do it by default. So getting an older fashioned look just kind of looks neat. I really, really think it turned out neat though, especially the shots without people. Definitely something, I've wanted to try getting a really cool filmic look. And I think, we played for like an hour outside, like an hour in total on this whole project. And I learned to scale. I just kind of learned how the raw works with the color. A lot of these things I keep in my mind as like, I've seen it before, seen someone do it, and I understand the concept, but I haven't exercised that skill yet. And so that's where doing it in real life and trying it out is kind of neat. If you have any comments, let us know. This is the first time for me. We'll be playing around a little bit more. Next time I do this, we'll do it in color. I said before I like color better. I mean, even this set in color would be neat, but I'm gonna leave this as a black and white set. That was the point of it. We'll print some off. We'll play around another time. Here is the montage.